I don't know how long this video is going to be. I have to record all the sound on my phone and then sync it up with, I don't know, anything. Um, it's kind of like difficult to get good, good quality sound at the for the time being, and I'm just kind of like, I don't really know what to do about it, to be honest. I have my microphone, but I forgot where I put that, so that's one thing. But more importantly, I'm just going to be talking about some of the things that I've been going through and sort of like what's kind of like the future of my channel and what I want to be putting out and content and things like that. Basically important things. So it's been like, I don't know, a rocky road or whatever over the past couple of months, because first off, like, I went to university and I got through my first year and I'm studying animation. So basically what all my like time on YouTube and stuff and putting out like fanime and things like that, kind of like it all has led up to me actually going to university and studying animation. And it was like a really big decision, because at first I was really conflicted about whether or not I should pursue to study animation. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, it's a 3-year course, so it's shorter than some other courses, but the course is kind of like geared towards getting ready for the industry. And obviously that does mean that not everything you produce is going to be sort of industry viable and like appropriate. So since my time of being in uni, like, I don't talk about my own individual anime projects. I kind of like try not to say the word anime, because I'm not sure whether or not people will understand the history and all those things, because obviously when people hear anime, they're like, isn't that a convention, or didn't that happen like in 2007 and everyone was just making Sailor Moon ripoffs? And it's kind of hard to like explain to people why anime might be like important to me in certain aspects. So yeah, it's kind of hard to really be an animation student and talk about anime. Like, those two things don't really go hand in hand as easily. And obviously, yeah, people are into anime and things like that, but I do live in the UK, not Japan, so obviously we're not going to be talking about anime all the time. Sometimes you just gotta put the Naruto down and, you know, talk about Disney or talk about film, talk about individual student projects and film festivals and all that good stuff, or whatever. Or people coming who have done good things, like lots of good things for the UK animation scene. Don't know if anyone really knows about it, but it's here. It's here to stay, and they just talk about their experiences and how it is being in the industry. And hearing their experiences, there is a lot of fun involved, but there's also still like hardship. You still have to work hard. You still have to sort of figure out what producers want from you and what people want from you, and it's still a job at the end of the day. Like, it's different from anime, where I just did it because I wanted to. I wanted to make a anime about alien girl from outer space being a magical girl, because I just thought it would be something fun to do. And out of everything that I've done so far, still working on my own projects is the most fun I can really have. Like, being at university was hard because I was in a whole new environment, I was really far away from home, so it's not like I could just turn to my parents at any viable second. If there was a situation that happened, I would have to kind of sort it out by myself, and I didn't really have that safety net that I usually had when I was at home and living with my family. Obviously, now I've returned from university and like it's the summer holidays or summer vacation, whatever you call it. So I'm not at university right now. I left about 3 weeks ago. As soon as like everything was just done, and I received all my results. I passed, so I get to go into the second year. I'm just kind of worried because it's kind of hard. A lot of people in my year were kind of like, including myself, were kind of asked to push themselves harder with their ideas. And usually, like, I try to be ambitious. Like, I love having ideas, but sometimes, like, especially recently now, I will create an idea and kind of like not want to do anything with it because I don't know how I'll be able to support the idea and what media do I want to do it for. And sometimes trying to express my idea through animation isn't the most viable option. Like, I think I was having a conversation with someone, and it's like, why do we even do animation in the first place? Like, it's very time consuming, it's very tasking and stuff, but why do we still use animation as a viable way of expressing ideas? And I thought about it, I was like, why did I choose to make a anime in the first place? It's like, I could have my story, for example, if I just wrote a bunch of short stories and published them somewhere, I could have been done by now. I could have finished telling this whole story about the characters and expressing the themes that I wanted to express. And it's not like I have anything against non-visual forms of storytelling. Like, I do write short stories. I have written short stories involving Reno and Haruto and whoever. Like, it's another thing that I like to do because I always feel like it's a good way of getting out ideas that I wish I could express through animation, but I may not have the time or the current expertise to do so. So sometimes I just like to write stories and kind of get it out there, meaning that it's like typed down, basically. Like, I don't really handwrite because I'm very slow, so typing really helps me because I kind of get like anxiety. Like, if I write and it doesn't come out like really, really nice, I get frustrated. So typing basically eliminates that issue I have sometimes with writing. It made doing like tests where you have to write really fast, really like really annoying, and it made me really anxious. Like, I really hated those sort of tests. I just didn't really want to do them. But in the end, like, I got given like a computer so I could type it up, and my results got a whole lot better. So yeah, but I can still write. Like, I still write sometimes. Like, I used to write when I write stories and stuff on paper. There's just like crisscross and like scribbling and blocking out everywhere, and like it can get really messy. And people, even though my handwriting is neat, the whole scribbling out makes everything look messy in the end. So people will just look at it and be like, what have you been trying to write? And I'll be like, I don't know. It's also very frustrating if I write a sentence and I think like another rendition is better, and I just end up scrapping the whole sentence and just rewriting it underneath. Yeah, that's also an issue. So yeah. So obviously, back to the whole question about why was making animation or making anime ever a viable option for people to express their ideas? I guess there's like a certain allure when it comes to making animation. It's kind of like something that we all have dreamed of at a point of time, being able to like have our stories out there and kind of like see them in front of us. And for me, I just really wanted that. Like, I wanted to have that, and I wanted that sort of opportunity to do it. At the time, like, it wasn't like I was particularly good at animation. Like, I had done it before, but it wasn't like I was really good at it. But I still wanted to try. Like the whole aspect is that I still wanted to try and do something and make the story. And at the time, there wasn't really a story to it. I just wanted to have it. I guess I just wanted to make an anime, and that sort of spontaneous aspect of my decision making when it came to animation, I feel like I've lost it a little bit somewhat when I come to university, because obviously there's guidelines that I have to abide to. Even though I find it really hard to abide to all the guidelines, I still try really hard to do so, because it's like it's there on the paper, but still at the end of the day I still find myself like not really enjoying that whole aspect. Like, this is what people want from you. It's not like I'm trying to be rebellious or I hate it when people tell me what to do. It's just kind of like I sort of want to keep several aspects of what I've always enjoyed about animation in my work process, and still want to have the sort of same results that people are looking for. Like, I'm fine with having to make animation for the sake of getting graded and receiving marks, but I would like to do it while still keeping that same feeling and work process I had when I create anime, and when I create my characters, and when I create ideas. And yeah, university just kind of like made me feel like, yeah, I'm not gonna get that. I'm not gonna get that thing. I need to sort of buckle down. And now looking back, I'm like, I could have saved myself some hassle if I just kind of like did it, and like did it in the way they're probably looking for me to do it. But at the same time, university is an experience. Like, I'm gonna get a degree, but it's still an experience. And I just thought that I could have the best of both worlds, and that's kind of like why I haven't been like uploading on my YouTube channel. Like, I feel like the type of YouTube has changed somewhat, in that a certain style of animations kind of get you more traction than other style of animations, and I feel like the niche of anime is kind of dwindling out. Like, at first it was like this whole little subset of YouTube where you could really feel part of like a greater community. I guess that's still there. It's just that the way that YouTube is basically is kind of drying it out. Like, imagine if anime was this oasis and YouTube is like the sun, and there used to be water, but every so often it kept getting hotter, the temperature kept increasing, and the oasis kept drying up, and there'll still be people who want to drink from that oasis, but there isn't enough water, so people just feel, well, I wish I could, but I don't see the point in going to the oasis. I don't see the point in going there if there's not going to be any water, so they just leave. I guess oasis is like the views, and then the people would be like potential fanimators. Because beyond on YouTube, you do want to accumulate some amount of views. You still want some traction. You don't just want no one to see your work, or else you wouldn't upload it to YouTube in the first place. You would just keep it to yourself. And I think that I just wish that sort of animation, well, Funimation, still had that traction, like still had that pull that people were looking for. But I guess it comes with age. Like, when I started and Space Ranger Window, I was like 15. Now I'm 19 and I'm in university. At the time when I was making Space Ranger Window and all these characters, it hadn't really changed that much. I was 15 and I was still in school, and I hadn't been like professionally trained in animation. Like, I just was kind of there trying to get all my ideas out in the open. And now it's like, can I turn this into a career? Is it viable for a career? I mean, I see people online and and they're like getting somewhere in the industry and they're like making a name for themselves. But I feel like I'm not at that certain point where I can say yes, like I can be like them. It's kind of hard because I want to be myself, but I also want to be like others. So I always find myself to be conflicted. Like I have to look towards other people when it comes to animating and like I always look towards other people in the anime community. Even before I started actually animating, I looked to people who were making ideas that I've resonated with. But now it's a little bit different because all the people I look up to, they're kind of like far off. Like I can't get into contact with them, to be honest. Like either they're in Japan or they're in America and they're kind of like I'm not in their circle. Like it really helps to have a circle of animation friends. But going to university and studying animation has kind of like made me a little bit isolated because day in day out it was kind of like spent worrying about my work and worrying about whether my work was what they were looking for, and it's still kind of hard to see. I had this style of animation that I produced and I showed to my teacher because I technically sort of major in TV animation. So I showed the style and he really liked it, but it's not the style that I would usually do my work in. Like it was a style that I kind of made in lieu of going to university, because when I applied I showed some of my things from Space Ranger Winnow and they were kind of like, oh, this is like anime, and I was like, and at the time I was like, I guess, but when I think about it I'm like, no, not really, because I never really made Space Ranger Winnow to be like an anime. A lot of people see anime as people just trying to mimic anime. I never intended to mimic anime. Like, I like certain aspects of anime, but when I think about it, the story in Space Ranger Winnow and the themes that I want to explore, not all of it is kind of like what you would see in a typical anime. If Space Ranger Winnow was to be made in Japan or whatever, I don't know. It's just kind of like a story that I wanted to tell. It wasn't anything that I really thought that deeply about. I didn't think, oh, I want to copy anime, or I want to be the next top animator in Japan. Like, I just wanted to create something. This is getting really long because I'm just rambling about lots of different things. But I think it's good to kind of have a long video like this once in a while. And since I haven't even made content, I think this is for the best, because if I just stop uploading and I don't even try to upload anything, then it's gonna be a problem. And if you have listened to this so far, I'm like, wow, because I can't even remember half the things I've said so far. Anyways, before it gets too long, I guess I should start talking about the future of this channel. So yeah, Space Ranger Winnow, I'm still gonna work on it. Like, I've changed it up, so basically it's not gonna be full episodes anymore. It's gonna be like mini shorts, but it's basically going to be telling the same story. And I want to do different things with it, so I don't just want to have a typical like episodic formula. I want to like experiment with different things and try to communicate the story that I want to tell. Not always in a traditional way through dialogue. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell because it's like I'm taking baby steps, so I'm not trying to do everything at once. I'm trying to take things one at a time, and I know that means that, oh, I'm not gonna get anything right away, like why even bother waiting, but I promise that I promise that I'm really trying. Like, I am trying very hard. Like, I wish I could my biggest annoyance with the way that I work is that I just wish I could just put things out. Like, but my process is so slow. I'm never gonna really be in a position where I have so many content. Like, people will tell me, "Oh, why haven't you shown us all this? Like, you must have so much animation just up your sleeve." And I keep trying to tell everyone that is not the case. Like, I don't have animation just sitting away stewing in my hard drive. Like, it's not there. Like, you can look, but you won't find it. And I just really want to say that, because it does get quite annoying sometimes when people sort of look at my work output as my biggest comeuppance. Like, "Oh, you could have done this if you just shown us all this animation. Oh, you could have done this. We could have gave you this if you showed us all your animation." And it's like, at a certain point, I just get embarrassed. I get anxious, because I'm like, no, you'll just see this as anime, or you'll just see this as something not worth evaluating, and I don't want to go through that. I don't want to just show my ideas and all the time and effort that I put into these characters that I really like, and just show it just so you can like have something to say about it. Like, compared to a lot of other ideas, some of the ideas that I post on this channel are more personal. Like, they really are. They resonate more with me than some of the other ideas I might create, which are kind of like made in a certain aspect to kind of appeal a businessman. But the stories here, the fact that Space Ranger Winner is set in Japan, that it's kind of like magical girl and has certain aesthetics that kind of like you wouldn't really see in the cartoon, kind of testify to that notion that Space Ranger Winner wasn't made for TV, or wasn't made to go on Netflix. Like, I wouldn't try and make Space Ranger Winner as a pitch, unless it would have to go through so many changes to even be considered for that. And it's fine with that, because it's a personal project. Like, sooner or later, I'll reach a point where I'll say what I wanted to say with this story, and I'll feel complacent in knowing that people may have enjoyed it, as opposed to struggling and changing things. And I don't want to change characters' names, I don't want to change the location, I don't want to change the general story, I don't want to change certain characters' personalities. If I want to change it, I'm going to change it simply because I want to. But I don't want to change it because I want to fit a certain standard that is shown in the industry when it comes to pilots and what people are looking for. Obviously, I'm still like a first year student, but as soon as the summer is over, I'm going to be a second year student, and I'll literally be more than halfway into my course. So yeah, after that it'll just be another year away into graduation. So yeah, it's kind of like, well, time goes so fast when you're stressing out, but it's been a journey. Like, it really has. Like, that's why I literally haven't uploaded anything in a year. As soon as September rolled around the corner, I knew I wasn't going to upload anything. I'll be looking at my YouTube and it'll be so barren. I feel so bad inside. I'm like, I want to upload so much Space Ranger and stuff. You don't even know. Like, I loved just posting little updates and little animation snippets and people commenting on them. And it's like, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to post content, but I don't want to post bad content, so I end up not posting any content. Like, I have so many, like, what is it? Previews, for example, let's see. Like, this was just like a rough layout that I drew like 2 months ago. And I don't want to show this. Like, it might look okay, but I don't want to show this. Like, there's something about it that I just feel like it's not acceptable. Anyway, that's why I'm trying to rework it. As you can see. But there's something about the original one that just irks me. And literally half of the things that I made for the first pilot, snippet of my new way of telling the story is like that, and basically I have to rework it because there's no way I want to show it on YouTube. So yeah, that's the kind of position that I'm in right now. I'm in a hard position because I got university to deal with, but now I'm done with it for the time being, so I can kind of refocus onto the things that I actually enjoy doing. And I'm also trying to raise money to go to Japan so I can also sort of get another perspective into animation and stuff, because I just kind of want my brain to just reboot, and I want to go into my second year feeling a lot better than when I went into my first year, which was basically anxiety and oh, they're gonna hate my art because they're gonna think it's anime. And yeah, I had those anxieties for like most of the school year. Like, I don't want to have that anymore. Like, no, you're not gonna like everybody's style, but I feel like my style kind of reflects what I want. Like, I like the style that I'm drawing. It's kind of like what I've gone with for so long, but not just because I'm used to it, but because there's something about how I draw eyes and like the characters that I can draw using the style that like is soothing. Like when I draw Reno and I draw her happy, it's kind of like a nice feeling like that I don't get when I draw with in other styles. Like if I draw life drawing, I don't get the same feeling I do when I draw Reno. So life drawing is like a bit of a stretch, but it goes through like other styles. Like if I drew Reno on a more sort of, let's say, 2000s cartoonish style, I feel like I won't get the same enjoyment as if I just draw her normally. So yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I'm kind of weird in that sense. Like, it shouldn't be as a big deal. Like, art style shouldn't be as a big deal because animation, you also have to have designs that are good in animation. So it's not just about having an art style that looks nice. But yeah. So I think that's it. I'm gonna stop talking. Yeah, I've talked for quite a bit, and I've basically animated as a part of the pilot episode. So you can see like how slowly I work, how bad I work, how annoyingly I work. And if you stick through all this, you're, I don't know, you're amazing, I don't know. You have some superpower because I just be rambling, and I'll put some music, you know, make it real nice so maybe some people can enjoy. And maybe put some timestamps so if you just want to listen to relevant points, you can just click and go and move out. But basically, yeah, content, working on it, trying to realign myself and basically feel more comfortable in being an animation student, and try not to really compare myself to what's already out there because yeah, gives me anxiety, and basically it's not that healthy to constantly keep looking towards people that I might not ever meet in real life. So yeah, I need to stop that. But social media makes it so easy, like really, really easy. Anyways, I'll see you the next time I post something. I'll try really hard. I promise. I'm so sorry. I'll try really hard. Okay, bye.